Yeah, I would agree. And what's cool is like, I feel grateful that I've come in at the time that I have. Like, I haven't experienced, too many terrible locker rooms or practicing in a D3.
Kate Martin just shook the internet, leaving WNBA critics in a frenzy. She boldly stated, "Yeah, we're getting privileges and what? No apologies, no second-guessing, just straight confidence." Meanwhile, traditional analysts are fired up, preaching about hard work, while Kate embraces her WNBA benefits without a care.
You girl,
Like,
that's good. You shouldn't have to.
And like, you know what? Like, I'm not gonna say sorry either. Like, I am thankful for that. Like,
don't.
all
You
right?
shouldn't say sorry.
But here's the thing, also, is like,
It wasn't your fault.
with the landscape of like how sports has changed and everything, is like, people, like, we shouldn't feel sorry for like being in this space, and like, we shouldn't feel sorry for like getting things that we deserve, that people before us have been fighting for so long. So it's like, I feel grateful that I was born when I was born, and I am here when
Martin just shut down every critic coming for Caitlin Clark, and she did it effortlessly on Sue Bird's podcast. With a smile, she made it clear, no regrets, no apologies. Caitlin Clark has changed the game, and if the WNBA is finally giving her the recognition she's earned, then it's well-deserved.
With the landscape of like how sports has changed and everything, is like, people, like, we shouldn't feel sorry for like being in this space, and like, we shouldn't feel sorry for like getting things that we deserve, that people before us have been fighting for so long. So it's...
Let's be real, the WNBA has been craving attention for years. Legends like Cheryl Swoops, Lisa Leslie, and Tina Thompson were putting in work when hardly anyone was watching. They played in empty arenas, earned next to nothing, and hoped ESPN would give them a mention. Now that the league is finally taking off, instead of celebrating, some past players are upset. But Kate Martin didn't hesitate. She said, "I can't be sorry that Caitlin and I are getting opportunities y'all didn't get." And that's exactly the energy the game needs.
Her defense, and, in the pros, when she got some minutes early, just her, her star and people that were really connecting with her. And she's just the greatest young woman. I'm biased. She's my spouse's biological niece, my niece. When she was 5, she'd stay with us. But she had a dream. She put our poster above her bed in her room, looked up at the Hawk poster. And, then she, got good enough to be recruited. And the story is, I loved her, but I removed myself, right? That I told Lisa, I go, you got to fly down and you got to check that. This kid's blue collar. And Lisa flew down and she was like, Dad, right?
Yesterday, speaking about Kate Martin, I'm here to tell.
Why apologize for progress? Did LeBron or Serena? Caitlin Clark has earned everything. Logo threes, broken records, and a growing audience. Let's be real, many started watching women's basketball because of her. And that's
people before us have been fighting for so long. So it's like, I feel grateful that I was born when I was born, and I am here when I am. And so,
at the right time.
But like, it's the same thing with like Caitlin turning down the, three-point shooting contest and things like that. Is like, come to the WNBA All-Star, like like all of these things, like this is great for our sport, but it's also great to like intermix, and like for us to be here, and like everything Tip said is like, we have more sponsorships, we have more opportunities, and like it's really cool to be able to showcase all of that, but also let's showcase it at WNBA All-Star too.
Some say Caitlin Clark's attention is all about race, but let's be real, if she were 5'7" and unathletic, nobody would care. She's a generational talent who would dominate in any era, and Kate Martin. She's been in the fight with her. So when she says, "I'm not sorry Caitlin is getting what she deserves," it's just facts. Meanwhile, some WNBA vets are throwing shade. "We had to fly commercial." Okay, does that mean today's players should struggle too? Times change.
Definitely say my goals, like my short-term goals, change year after year. Last year, my goal was to get drafted, and then my goal was to make the roster, and then my goal was, to stay on that team and then give it my best and be ready when my name was called. And so, like, then my goal in the off season was to work on specific things, and then goal and unrivaled, whatever it is. But my goal for this year, I would say, is just to continue to be confident and like know I belong.
Caitlin Clark and this new wave are transforming the WNBA. Sold-out arenas, record ratings, and booming merch sales. Isn't that the goal past players fought for? But instead of embracing progress, some are stuck in resentment. They deserve respect, but tearing down Caitlin isn't the answer. Kate Martin gets it. She's not apologizing for taking opportunities or dimming Caitlin's shine just because the system was
What Caitlin
broken.
has done for not just college basketball, but for women's basketball, period, I think has been great. The following, people watching the game, sellouts that we haven't seen ever. It just really bothers me, though, when people just take bits and pieces of what they want to take and they don't listen to everything and you don't hear everything. It wasn't personal. One, it was my opinion on how I think she'll be at the next level, because I do remember me saying that Caitlin, to me, could be the best college shooter I've ever seen. When you put these expectations on these young women in college to go to the next level and be immediately dominant, and when that doesn't happen, then people come back and say, oh, she was a bust, she was a flop, she wasn't that good.
It's hilarious watching Kate Martin shut down the critics. Some expected her to apologize. She didn't. She basically said, cry about it, and we love that energy. Give Caitlin Clark her flowers. Give Kate Martin hers too. The WNBA is finally getting its due, and instead of arguing over the past, maybe we should just enjoy the moment. The future
For
looks
everybody
wild.
who's pretending like they don't understand why Caitlin Clark's getting all the attention, when they just showed up to the WNBA discussion too. Let's start with the fact that the women's national championship game outrated the men's by millions. First time that's ever happened. Which is why TV networks already decided to televise almost all of the Indiana Fever games. And road opponents have changed arenas in order to accommodate demand. Because yesterday's price is not today's price. And that's the reason Clark was on SNL ahead of the WNBA draft. And the draft ratings were higher than the previous 6 years combined, with Fanatics reporting Clark's jersey sales were higher than they've ever seen.
Caitlin Clark is bringing money, attention, and energy to the WNBA, and Kate Martin is right there with her. While young stars thrive, some OGs wonder where this was in their era. Kate went undrafted but got picked up fast. When your best friend fills arenas, you get extra shine. It's like rolling with a popular kid. You might not do much, but you're still in VIP. And to be fair, Kate can hoop. But let's be real, the Caitlin Clark cosign is a game changer.
No one person means as much to their league, whatever league it is, as Caitlin Clark means to the WNBA. And no person has done more for their league than what Caitlin Clark has done for the WNBA. When we look back on this, Caitlin Clark will be for the WNBA what Magic Johnson and Larry Bird were for the NBA. If this thing ever becomes as big as some people think it can